All right, how are you guys doing, man? It's the boy Dave here. I got my guy Darhkseid and JayMMA. How you guys doing, man?
Doing good.
Doing
Fantastic,
good,
Doing
extravagant.
fantastic, sensational,
man. We had to
sensational.
meet a little bit earlier. We were supposed to meet up when I whooped their ass on 2K22, but we had to get them in here a little bit earlier. But man, what did we just watch, guys? I need your honest thoughts. Whoever wants to go first. What was your overall take on the film? And I want a score from you guys out of 10.
All right, I'll go first. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I've seen it 3 times, so I think a 9.5 is fair. Um, what holds it back? Two things: the ending, and then Batman being invincible. I mean, for what it's worth, I understand that it's a grounded movie. He's trying to go for like not what Christopher Nolan went for, because Christopher Nolan, that Dark Knight trilogy was very grounded. But this one is as well. But Batman took an extreme amount of punishment, and then just like it was like he's just like determined. He took an explosion to the face and got up like it was nothing. Like come on.
I mean, he didn't get up right away.
No, he not right away, but he got up like it was nothing. And then the ending, I was like already, you know what I mean? Like we just got here. Like we're gonna do the joke. We're
That's
gonna do
fair.
that. Like
That's fair.
we're gonna
But
do
you
the
wanted
only.
that though, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just about to get into that. The
Okay,
only
okay.
way I would like this if they set up that Jason Todd thing that I've been like talking about. That's the only way I would give this movie a 10. If they set that up, I'm giving this movie a 10.
But
I'll
it
give
would
it a
be
10.
still too early though, don't you think? Or what do you think about
Yeah,
that?
it'd still be too early, but
It's still a good idea though. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, it's still a good idea.
So out of 10, what we giving it, bro?
9.5, bro.
9.5. Okay, Dark,
Yeah,
my
9.5.
man, you got there today,
I'm,
man.
I'm,
How was it?
yeah, I got the freshest experience. I'm going again tomorrow though, but I got the freshest experience. I literally got it a couple hours ago from seeing it.
Okay.
And honestly, if I had to give it a score out of 10, I probably would go. Ooh, it's tough. I'd probably go nine out of 10 for me if I
Nine.
want to be
Okay.
honest. I'll go to 9 out of 10. After thinking it over some more, I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. I mean, for me, the movie hit so many good points. I think the only thing I can see people complaining about in the movie probably is going to be. I saw a lot of it before I went into the movie. I saw a lot of people talking about the third act of the film,
Mm-hmm.
specifically the ending. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's probably the thing most people are probably going to critique the most. But even then, I still enjoyed the ending. I definitely thought it could be done a little bit better, in my opinion, but it wasn't bad by any means. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Just compared to the rest of the film, it was probably just like the less hype was towards the end of the film. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I was surprised, actually. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it this much, but I really enjoyed the movie. I mean, Robert Pattinson as
He's that
Batman.
guy.
That's the Dark Knight right there,
I'm
okay?
telling you.
That man was the Dark Knight. Those people were terrified when he's coming out the shadows. You know what I'm
The
talking
first
about?
15
And you
minutes.
can, oh
The
man, the
first,
Man.
I
opening.
already, I already knew it was gonna be good. You know the scene where they put up the bad signal, like the
Hmm.
openers, they put up the bad signal,
Yeah.
and then they showed like
Yeah.
the different criminals like doing different crimes,
Yep.
and then
Hmm.
the one criminal he's like looking in like the dark alley, and it's kind of
Yes.
like that
You
mystery is
don't know.
Batman. Yeah, you don't know, and you can see
Yeah.
the fear on his face. I'm like, yeah, it's about to be good.
Oh
It's about to
So
yeah.
be good.
let me say this, and I'm not gonna lie. This was bothering me during the movie. People, and I know the movie does. They throw a little comedic touch in there, and it's just so subtle. But people kept laughing when they weren't meant to laugh, and this is what I mean by that. I was in the theater and I'm like, these people don't, and I'm seeing it on Twitter. These people don't know this is a younger Batman who's not that experienced. It's like when
I
he's
mean,
Hmm.
using the
in the beginning, like he writes in a notebook and it says year two, right? If I'm not
exactly,
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's
Exactly.
like
Yep.
more
Yeah.
for casual people who don't really know about Batman. It's like I saw on the internet this girl said I don't like that they made him weak and cringe. He's not an experienced Batman. So when he takes out the wingsuit and he tries to open the fucking parachute and he hits that bridge or whatever, he's a
Yeah.
rookie. He doesn't know any better, bro. He's learning. So he's human. He's vulnerable. There's that sense of urgency throughout this film, and people think Batman is just supposed to be OP. this is a year too. That's what pissed me off. I swear. People laughed at certain things in this movie, and I'm like, it's supposed to be that way. And I know certain people are like, why is he so weak in this movie? He's supposed.
I mean,
Man,
he took an
Bro,
explosion to the
bro, I'm about to
face. He
say,
wasn't
bro, we
really
talking
that
about
weak.
people talking about he's weak, weak.
bruh.
But that man's taking
Ask Jim
gunshots,
Gordon if he's weak,
explosions.
bro.
I mean, they want to be Superman or something, bro.
Bro,
Like, what
the
do you mean
man
he's
did
weak?
bro, listen, he didn't even crack under Zoe Kravitz, bro. If he couldn't crack under, I
Oh
don't know
my
what that.
That's
goodness.
hey, don't get me started. We go
Hey,
on. Don't get
listen,
me started.
hey, no
Don't get me
simping. Hey,
started.
I had to stand up and give it a stand ovation.
But
No
people
simping.
are also having an issue with him, whether he's Bruce Wayne or the Batman. People are giving this idea that he was so emotional, like he didn't show any emotion throughout the film, and it's not because he's a bad actor. He's damaged. He's traumatized. That's him. I think that
Exactly.
as these movies progress, he's gonna become the Bruce Wayne that people are expecting. But I think a lot of people are confused and they're calling his acting bad, but that wasn't the point of it.
Yeah,
That's just me.
definitely
I don't know how
not.
you guys feel though.
No, I got pretty much the same sense of you. I mean, you could definitely tell like this is like I mean, the Bruce Wayne in the beginning, the Batman in the beginning, he's like cold, he's vengeful, type of thing. He
Yes.
doesn't have emotions. He's not really like he's all about his work basically as Batman. That's really all he
Yes.
is. Like it's really in the beginning of his journey, he's really mostly Batman and a little bit Bruce Wayne. So obviously he's not going to have a bunch of emotions and things like that because he's mostly the Dark Knight. He's not out
Mm-hmm.
here trying to mingle with people and things like that. I mean, they even reference it like multiple times in the movie. Like even towards the end when he's talking to the Riddler and the Riddler tells him, that's the Batman's the true him, Bruce. Basically saying like your human side, that's the
Yeah.
mask, and you're really just the Batman underneath. And they reference it all throughout the movie, even when he's fighting in the third act and he's seeing Riddler's minions basically talking about how their vengeance and he's kind of starting to realize like he has to be better than he's been this whole time. He
Yeah.
has to evolve essentially. And I think like just like you said, then I think now after this movie we'll start getting more into like the philanthropist type of Bruce Wayne where he's more out
Exactly.
there now and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I watched Batman Begins last night, and I think they touched on what Dark was saying about how like he kind of struggled. In Batman Begins, you can see like he was just like so vengeful, and then like when
Hmm.
he go meets Falcone, he then realizes he's like I need to like change essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of was like in the beginning he didn't know how to balance Bruce Wayne and Batman, but in
Yeah.
this it's just like he's not when he's in Bruce Wayne, he's essentially Batman, honestly. Like
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
scene where they're walking in the church and then the mayor is like talking to him, whatever, and just like he just has like this blank stare. It's not like he don't even like notice like she there. He's just like walking.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
but my whole thing with like Batman and Bruce Wayne, I honestly think he did a very good job. I knew he was gonna kill
Yeah.
the role.
Yeah.
Anything with Matt Reeves, I knew once like he had Matt Reeves directing him, like I had no worries. Robert Pattinson, he's an amazing actor. And yes, a lot of like majority like 95% of the people, he's gonna be known for like
Twilight.
Twilight. No
Hmm.
one's seen, the
After this though, I
lighthouse.
don't know. Some people
Yeah,
giving
oh
him
no, oh
praise.
yeah, after this he's probably not gonna be known for Twilight, but like the lighthouse, that's
Oh
more
yeah.
of like a horror movie. And
Mm-hmm.
that was like recent. That came out like 2020, 2019, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And that movie was like phenomenal. Him and William Dafoe. That movie was like
Hmm.
phenomenal. And then you have William Dafoe talking about how he knows Robert Pattinson is gonna kill a role. So I was like, I ain't got nothing to worry about. Then I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I'm
That
saying? I ain't got
trailer
nothing to worry
flipped a lot
about.
of people, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah. But I was very surprised at this one thing that I caught. And
Mm-hmm.
this is something that none of the movies got, whether it was Christopher Nolan, the Tim Burton movies, George Clooney, none of those movies got right. When Batman takes off his like when he has his mask on, you can see like the dark circles around the
Yeah.
eyes. But when he takes it off, it's like it's gone. It's like what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
what happened? Like he just don't have dark eyes
Yeah.
anymore. But in this movie, they paid attention to a lot of detail. When he takes off his mask, like that mascara is around his eyes. So I thought that was a real neat detail.
I'm
But
gonna
I
piggyback
can't.
off that. Not to cut
Yeah,
you
yeah,
off.
yeah.
I'm gonna
No.
let you
Go
finish
ahead.
that in a second. I know a lot of people are calling the Christian Bale Batman more grounded and realistic. This is Batman if he were a real fucking person to me. I feel like they got the closest to that. And I'm gonna let you finish. This to me felt like a thriller slash horror movie. I felt like I was watching a fucking horror movie, bro. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed this movie until I realized none of my fucking snacks were open. The score's giving me chills, bro. Like it was a full on. It felt like a journey we went on, bro. It felt like we were really involved in it. You can go ahead, Jay.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, but my main problem with the Nolan trilogy is I feel like it's not Batman centered. And a lot of Batman fans are gonna get what I'm saying. That's more the Nolan trilogy is more focused on the character of Bruce Wayne struggling to be Batman. It's not really him trying to balance both. It's more focused on Bruce Wayne. You get a lot of scenes. You get more scenes with Bruce Wayne in that trilogy probably than Batman.
That's
The Dark
fair.
Knight Rises, you probably get like a shit ton more of Batman, but the
Mm-hmm.
Dark Knight and Batman Begins, I feel like that's more Bruce Wayne centered.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, you kind of get to see him struggling as Batman and Bruce Wayne. So you kind of
Yeah.
get to see both. And let's be honest, and this was kind of one of my gripes.
Yeah.
It's one of my gripes in this movie, and I have to keep comparing it to the Nolan trilogy because I'm gonna say it now. I feel like the Dark Knight is while it's a great movie. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong,
I
it's a
know.
phenomenal movie. It's overrated. It's completely overrated. I feel like if rest in peace to him, Heath Ledger was not in that movie. I feel like that movie would not be highly touted as the movie is, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
seen something on Twitter, and I can 100% agree. People like you have to go in this to with like an open mind, because
Yeah.
like if you're going trying to compare it to like the Dark Knight, be like, oh well, the Dark Knight did that better. You're not gonna enjoy the movie. You're not gonna enjoy anything if you like compare it to like it is the movies that came before it.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
fair.
and I know I kind of went off topic, but anyway,
No, no, you're good.
I really like how they focused on the choreography fighting because that's really my biggest problem with the Nolan trilogy is how the fight scenes suck. Like they're trash, and Nolan tries to mask it with like quick cuts, like in Batman Begins, like in the freight scene, like when you first see Batman in the full costume, and then like Falcone's like watching Batman just beat the shit out of people. It's like quick cuts, so you can't see, but like he sucks.
Yeah.
And but in this one, he's just like brutal. Like I was like, yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Dark.
I like that. Yeah.
You want to add anything to that, Dark, and piggyback off that?
Hey man,
That
come on.
man
All
Jay
right,
is into it, bro. Jay, calm down, man. Calm down.
I'm
hey,
sorry, bro. I
I
love
like this though.
Batman.
I
I
like
love
this,
Batman.
bro. I like this. Hey, to be fair, I mean, this movie really got to me. In fact, like I before this movie, I was like, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I mean, I thought Robert Pattinson was going to do a great job. I thought he was a great actor, but people, of course, weren't going to give him his fair due because they just hold him as the Twilight guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to do a good job, but I really, just like you, Dave, really liked the direction the movie went. Because to me, it felt like a murder mystery is what I was watching.
Yes,
And
bro.
I think they nailed Batman on so many levels. The detective version of Batman in this movie was so good.
And
I
it
love
feels like an Arkham
just the
game.
little details.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
hold on. I don't mean to cut you off though. I just want
Yeah,
to
go
say
ahead,
this.
man. Go ahead.
A lot of Batman films tend to never focus on the detective side.
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
And I felt like Matt Reeves did a real good job of like balancing like not all three elements, but he balanced it like well to where it's
Yep.
like you get the detective, like the main center of the Batman character is
Mm.
detective, but you get the brutality, you get the superhero, you get all that, but the main thing is detective. But I just wanted to say, go ahead, Dora.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. But like just like you're saying, like I felt like the Bruce Wayne slash Batman and the Dark Knight trilogy. I felt like that Batman to me felt more like Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? It was like
Right.
less detective, more like inventions and tech and stuff like that. But I don't think they really focused on the detective side of Batman. In this film, like even like the smallest thing, like on the first murder scene of the guy who's running from there, you can see in the first murder scene, even like the small details on the floor. He's scanning the floor to see
Yes.
where what the murder weapon was, what little things he could pick up. And then I love how he has the contact lenses where he can review what he's seen
Yes.
and break it down. That was so nice. I love that. But I really like how they really went to the detective side of Batman in this film. And I think probably my favorite thing in the film is the force you can feel when Batman is coming out of the shadows. When he's the sound and the score when he's stepping out, you feel those heavy boots
Boom,
on the
boom,
ground.
boom, boom.
You
Yes,
feel
sir.
you feel that like, oh my God, he's coming. Here he comes. You feel that. I feel like in the Dark Knight trilogy, he just felt like he was walking in like some Jordans or something, like some regular tennis shoes, just
Yeah.
so
Right.
light. Like he had like no weight to him for like that type of suit that he would have, no weight. But in this movie, that suit that he's wearing, you can feel, and with those boots, you can feel that heavy weight when he's coming out. I love that. So especially in that opening scene, I
Yes.
loved it so much.
And I gotta say, Dark, I'm glad you said that, bro. I get so excited talking about this fucking movie. I was literally, I don't get scared with, like, there's a lot of movies where people will be like, oh, you'll get scared, you'll get chills. I did it. You talk about that opening scene, when I hear the fucking boots, what did he come down some stairs? Or he was just walking forward? And we're just looking at the darkness as the thugs are like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, this is crazy. And let me just say, I don't want to compare these films, kind of like how Jay was saying. You don't want to do that. But I want to say, for all you Christian Bale fans, ha ha, I got you. Because guess what? While you want to call Robert Pattinson skinny, who brought that presence of fear and intimidation? You remember the scene where the fucking, the guy, he's like walking and talking to Jim Gordon, inspecting the crime scene, and Batman's just there, and he's kind of like, you know, like,
Hmm.
let me get around you real quick. He
Yep.
kind of had that presence about him. The only person I felt really had that was Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck. I know a lot of people will disagree, but I Christian Bale just never did that for me. And I don't hate him. I like the movies, but it felt like everything that they wanted Christian Bale to be, or people say that Christian Bale was, I felt like Robert Pattinson did exactly that. And I really want people. This is the hill I'm gonna die on. He is a really good Batman, and it's only the first film, man.
I
That's
think
how I.
I think a lot of people get it confused. Christian Bale is a great Bruce Wayne more than he is a great Batman. I feel like he has a
That's fair.
lackluster Batman, but his Bruce Wayne is like excellent. And that's because the Nolan trilogy really doesn't focus on the Batman character. That goes back to my point. Doesn't focus on the Batman character. Like you get a lot of scenes
Hmm.
between Alfred and Bruce Wayne and Lucius Fox, Bruce Wayne and Rachel, Bruce Wayne, Harvey. You get a lot of you get a lot of those scenes. You really don't get a lot of emotionally tagged uh Batman scenes. The only one I can remember is when he's trying to save Rachel and Batman Begins. That's literally the only one I
Hmm.
remember. Like when she got poisoned, that's the only one I can remember. But I want to talk about this ending. And this is one of my I wouldn't say I have a lot. I have like 3 or 4 negatives.
You could name
Two
a
of
few
them
if you want. If you want to fly
two of
through them,
them
and
two of them are like nitpicks, so I'm probably not gonna get into those. But the two main ones are like real big negatives. The first one is like the Riddler's motive itself. I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't know how I feel. Like I said, I've seen it 3 times, and I was like, when I came out the first time, I was like, man, that kind of didn't make sense. So I went to see it again. I was like, okay, it makes a little bit of sense. And then I saw it 11 p.m. last night. I was like, this makes no fucking sense. I kind of like his plan literally worked. Like it worked flawlessly up until like the final act. Like
do you feel
literally
like
his
him
plan was
explaining it kind of like made you realize like the
yeah, I
flaws
was
within
like
it?
yeah, I was like this kind of doesn't make sense. Honestly. I was like like the Riddler's smart. Like him thinking
Hmm.
that Batman would ally with him it's like that wouldn't happen. And then
That's
the
I see what you
ending.
mean.
And then the ending. I didn't. I'm not gonna say I didn't like the ending, like Darkseid. I thought it ended off the movie, as it was. Uh, I forgot the actor's name. He's gonna obviously be playing the Joker. He played
Hmm.
in the Eternals. I don't know the dude's name,
I
but I know
I
he
know
was
what
in
you're
the
talking
Eternals.
about.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. He was in
Yeah.
Eternals, so he's gonna wind
yeah.
up playing the Joker. He asked the Joker. He asked him the riddle. I forgot the fucking riddle. Fuck. It's like something you value more as you lose it, or something. Yeah, yeah. If you watch the fucking, you know what it goes. Then the fucking
Yeah.
Riddler, he goes a friend, and then you get the fucking Joker laugh. Ha ha ha. The only way that ending will work is if I want to see Jason Todd in his next movie, and then if you're gonna do that, okay, I like the Joker. We're gonna do that, right? The next movie, I've told Dave this many of times. Matt Reeves, man, if you need me as a writer, man, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I got the perfect ending. You have the Joker beating the shit out of Jason Todd at the end of the movie. At the end of the next movie, you just hear him, talking to Jason Todd, but you just hear whimpering, and then you just slowly hear the drag of that crowbar, and you just hear him, whacking the shit out of Jason Todd and the movie ends. That's the only way this ending is gonna work. I just feel like they're pushing the Joker a little bit too fast. I feel like the ending that I just said would have been a better way to end. My mic keeps y'all. One of y'all can go ahead. My fucking mic is messing up. One of y'all can go ahead.
Uh, I didn't really. I kind of felt it was an unsettling like ending to me. I did feel like it was too soon. But I will say it's not like the next movie guarantees it's gonna be a Joker movie. I think that just teases the idea of this. Yeah, they already exist pretty much, and it just kind of opens the windows for other villains. I kind of want to see more of these villains who are on the back burner get a push. Professor Pig, all that. I don't really know where they would go from here. I mean, I want to see another movie. I don't know where they would go from here, but I love that because there's so many windows for so many different things open now. I don't really know. I have to see it again to really let it simmer once more. But by the way, I don't have anything to critique this film with, and I know Jay was talking about the explosive. Give a guy a freebie, okay? It's a superhero.
No,
Give a guy
no,
a
'cause I'm not giving him a
freebie,
freebie because I didn't give Christian Bale a freebie when Bane literally broke his back,
bruh.
and you know how his back got unbroken from a punch. That's unrealistic. That's never
Oh my
happened. So I didn't
goodness.
give him a pass. I'm not giving Robert Pattinson bro. You take an explosion to the face. I don't care unless you're Darkseid, Galactic. You one of these intergalactic supervillains. You're not taking an explosion to the face and then just like rolling over and then no, that's not happening.
I
And
know
he
Jay
took
had
like,
a
bro, he
criticism of
took
the
like,
bullets too.
bro, he took like 80 clips.
How
Like
do
if
you
you
feel
really
about
look
that,
at, he took
Dark?
like 80 full clips, bro, and just walked through and they were just beating
Hey,
dudes. I mean, the scenes were cool. Don't get me wrong, they were
two
cool.
freebies, two freebies. Okay, we
Those
get two.
okay, those are freebies. Okay, those are
Okay,
freebies.
all
Those are
right.
freebies.
Was that the
I'll give you
main
that.
criticism you had for the film? Was the ending? Was there
No,
anything else
the
that you
main
wanted to see? Maybe.
the main thing I really didn't like, I'm not gonna say I didn't like the relationship between Zoe Kravitz and Batman. Um, I wouldn't say that it was kind of forced,
What, the
but
chemistry, or what do you mean?
yeah, the chemistry. I just felt like the first interaction, like it was like super sexual. I'm like, damn, we're just gonna get like right into it. Like we didn't get eased into it or anything. It's just like she's trying to fuck immediately. Like, damn, bitch, get off my
Oh
neck.
my god.
You know what I'm saying? But
Dark,
anyway,
what do you think
I
about the
just felt
supporting
like
characters?
I just
Oh my
felt like
bad. Go
they could
ahead.
have. Oh, also, Colin Farrell had the best perform outside of Robert Pattinson. I think Colin Farrell had the best performance. His performance as Penguin was just like it was like real good.
That's fair.
I honestly felt like they should have went towards his route and then introduced the Joker into the next movie. I still don't kind of like how they're just jumping into the Joker. I just feel like it's kind of rushed.
Mm,
But Colin Farrell did amazing though. I feel like he did the second best outside of Robert Pattinson. But go ahead
I
though.
agree. All right.
All right. I'm gonna touch on two things since I'm gonna touch on Jay's criticisms of the film. For the first part, I think for what both of you guys are saying, I think what they're doing with the Joker I mean, if you really think about it, he's really not the Joker yet, at least to me, because I didn't see any face paint on him like the Joker typically has. So to me, I don't think he's really the Joker yet. I mean, you got to remember the Joker's origin before. He was kind of like, I guess you can call him like a villain before he was actually the Joker and he fell into the acid. He was still with the mob and things like that. So to me,
Oh,
I think they're introducing like this is the character the Joker is, but I don't think he's the Joker yet. 'Cause I don't think you can call the Joker if you don't got the face paint.
so you
If
think they're
either
just
he's
kind of
not
leaving the
bleached
window
out,
open?
I think they're leaving. I think they're just introducing the idea that this, we
Okay.
have someone in the the universe who's going to be the Joker, but I don't think he's the Joker quite yet. Is what I'm thinking. I think when he was talking about people love a comeback, I think when he reemerges from Arkham, I think that's when he's going to officially like have the moniker as the Joker. But I don't think he has it yet, in my opinion, as far as that. But I like the idea what Jay was saying about introducing Jason Todd, which I think would be good because if you bring in Jason Todd now, or in the next movie, and you bring in, the Joker starts becoming, he is the Joker now, and
Hmm.
now he's the Joker. Then you can start getting to that storyline where, the Joker goes after Jason Todd, front
Exactly.
hand, backhand with the
Exactly.
crowbar. You
He
Exactly.
know what I'm
said
talking
front and
about?
back.
So
Exactly.
then we can get into that. That would make more sense. So I think you like start them off like we introduce the character who will be the Joker, and then you bring in Jason Todd. That gives Jason Todd some time to be under Batman to have that connection because you don't want to really bring in Jason Todd. He's in there for a few scenes with Batman, like in a single movie, and then he kills him off right away. Because then there's like no build up, no. What's the
Yeah.
connection? You know what I'm saying? What's the
Well,
connection that Batman's having?
not to cut you off, but that's what I was gonna ask because it seems like it's so easy to do, but at the same time, you do have to let things build up and progress.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see, like, honestly, I think it would be hard to pull a lot of this off in a trilogy unless you guys see otherwise. I would love to hear your opinion. Do we see this going for a trilogy, or do we see Robert Pattinson have several films under his belt, a lot like a lot of people have had
He's
in the
definitely
MCU?
gonna have a lot of movies. I think
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
he'll probably have like 4 or 5, honestly,
I would
because
love
there's
to
like
see
a
that build up then.
yeah, because the
Mm-hmm.
way it's looking like Dark said, I didn't mean like introduce the Joker like immediately in the next movie. I was
Hmm.
trying to kind of say like this they're probably gonna do a time jump. Honestly, they're gonna do a big time jump between this movie and the next movie. So I think introducing Jason Todd, having them going against the Penguin, which I probably think who's gonna be the main villain in the next movie, and then you just like slowly give like how they did kind of in Gotham, where they were giving like teasing, increments
Mm-hmm.
with the Joker, and then at the end you just get like the just big explosion. Okay, now he's finally the Joker, and then it happens.
Hmm.
I think the more you ease into it, the better it comes off because you just like push it in people's faces. You don't know what kind of reaction you're gonna get. If that makes sense.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't mind that at all. It's just kind of weird to. I would hate for. I don't think they're gonna get over on themselves and try to outdo anything. I trust Matt Reeves. I'm not gonna lie. After seeing this, you could tell how much of his vision went into this, bro. And I can't get over the fact of what I fucking saw, so I can't wait to get in there again. But every fucking shot, when we talk about every shot was a masterpiece. By the way, I had to
Mm.
add this. Jordan's favorite part of the movie was the Batmobile. That was one of her favorite parts. All
Yeah.
of that shit was amazing. And I see a lot of people talking about how the action was just And I'm like, huh? I don't know what movie they watched because
It's,
I was engaged from everything that we saw, and even for the combat that we did get, bro, you felt every punch. You felt every punch.
mm,
It felt like Batman. This felt like an Arkham video game, bro. But honestly,
yeah.
I'm excited to see what's next. But I heard somebody say on Twitter, I love that DC is making these standalone films, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this film is gonna get a few more, there's gonna be a few more films, because a
Yeah,
Oh,
standalone film is just
100%,
one and
100%.
done, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because a Joker, I think they're done with that idea. I'm glad they didn't. Man, for the life of me, I'm glad they didn't put.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
Man, man, and I am kind of bummed that the window, I mean, the idea or the door is closed for William Defoe. To be involved is kind of closed, but who knows, man? I'm just fucking excited.
I think it's just that he's too old at this point to match up with Pattinson's Batman. I think
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to, honestly. I think that's really what
man.
it came down
Yeah,
to. To go
but
on, I want to touch on
yeah,
something else
yeah.
during this movie too. And where was I about to go with this? So I want to touch just on the overall character work. I think was really well done, especially how all the characters, connect with each other. I think that was what was really, really well done. Each character we saw in the movie really had like a string that tied them all together in one way or another. Nobody really felt out of place. Like, why is this person here? Like, where did this person come from? Like, there's no
Yeah.
connection here. Like, everything was pretty tight. Especially it's like just like in the beginning where Batman first saw Selena. Like everything was tied together. I like that entrance to Catwoman as well, right there. I mean, Catwoman in this movie, she kind of went crazy. I can't lie, she did. I mean,
Hey,
Zoe Kravitz did a great job in this movie.
Jay.
A great job in this movie. If you ask me. If you ask me, fantastic.
Can we give Jim Gordon a praise too? Because aside from the Gotham TV series, this is the most work I've seen him doing with Batman. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've
Yeah,
never seen
Yeah,
Jim
yeah,
Gordon
for
this
sure.
involved, and I love that they're the people call it buddy cop, but I love how involved they were together, and I
no, it was
love
Hmm.
definitely
that.
buddy cop. It was definitely buddy cop.
I love the scene where he's like, "We gotta get you out of here," and
Yeah.
bro, when he threw that fucking punch, you should have heard the theaters, bro. I don't think people saw that clip. He threw that punch, and the theater was. I was like, yeah, these exclusive clips were out here, man. But that wingsuit, I didn't like that. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I forgot to say. I didn't really like the way it looked. I'm not gonna nitpick too
Mhm.
much about it, but people call it the bobblehead effect. When he was gliding through, I didn't like that part. I wish it would have looked a little bit better. But also, they gotta work on. These are things that bothered me. There was a scene where, of course, where Batman and Catwoman are fighting, and she throws like a two-touch kick or some shit, and it looked very animated. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? She kind of
Yeah,
like glides as she jumps up to throw those kicks. Those kind of things bother me, but that's just me nitpicking small stuff. Overall, though, I love this film. I give it a 10 out of 10. I'm going to say it. Even though this is the first film, a lot of people are saying we can't give him the title of being the best Batman we've seen. I'm giving him the title. Christian Bale, I still love you. Brits, you guys do it so well. You guys do it so well, but Robert Pattinson, as a Brit himself, I gotta give him the crown, man, for the
I
best
never
Batman.
thought, I never thought Christian Bale. I'm gonna be honest. People like literally, I'm telling you right now, if Heath Ledger was not the Joker, people would not be saying the Dark Knight is as good as it is. I promise you.
Kind of like The
Like
Dark Knight
that.
Rises.
Yes, that the both. I like the Dark Knight Rises a little bit better than the Dark Knight. If I'm being honest, a little bit better, not that much
Mm.
better. I feel like they both have a lot of inconsistencies in like the plot. Like the Tell You I Ghul thing that they went, I didn't like. I don't know what the fuck that was. Like in Dark Knight Rises, that they could have literally left her out of the movie, and the movie still would have been fine. And then like Harvey didn't like. Oh my goodness, let's talk about that. Literally, you have your wife's killer in front of you, and you flip a coin and let him lit. That I never understood. That's super. If you're going for a grounded movie,
Mm.
and you got Harvey Dent going off the rails, the minute he sees the Joker, he's going to kill him. Like realistically, that's what's going to happen. And you're
Mm.
telling me you're going to flip a coin? Like I never understood that. So when you get this movie that's very grounded, that's like super realistic, and then I see him taking explosions. I'm like, oh man, please don't pull a Christopher Nolan. I don't want to see that, honestly, because Christopher Nolan's interpretation is a little bit different than what
Yeah,
Matt Reeves is going for. So I kind of hope they don't dwell into that. We just gotta stop comparing the two. Just let two movies
that's
be
fair.
great, honestly. Because while I'm sitting here like talking about my negatives, like The Dark Knight is still like one of the greatest superhero movies like of all time. Like
Oh
it's a
yeah, for
great
sure.
movie. Like it's still a great movie. So that's
Yeah,
not like taken away from the movie. But I'm saying like it's not like the best thing since sliced bread. Like come on people. Like people talking about oh well like this movie Christian Bale, when he was like super buff, and then Robert Pattinson, he doesn't look that ripped, and his Batman, and I don't give a
yeah,
fuck. I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. Like I don't want
yeah,
to hear that. Like
yeah.
honestly, I
Some
really,
people
I
just
really
don't
don't
watch
care.
film, bro, and I don't want to. I say this all the time. I don't want to be like if you don't watch movies, just say that. But if you don't watch
Don't
movies,
watch
just say
movies, don't.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
like
bro, like some people just literally the last people don't even, they just skip over the fact that he was in Harry Potter. They just go straight to Twilight. That's the last movie they saw with Robert Pattinson. The last movie they saw, and it's crazy to me. But moving forward from both of you guys, I need your top 3 Batman.
Top 30? Ooh.
Yes, in no particular order.
No
I'm gonna go.
order? Okay.
Oh,
okay,
go ahead.
that's easy. No, go ahead.
I'm gonna go. Michael Keaton, Robert Pattinson, George Clooney. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. Ben Affleck. Believe it or not, it's not Christian Bale. It's Ben Affleck.
I got the same. I got Ben Affleck, Patterson, and then
The OG.
Keaton. Yeah, Keaton. Again, nothing against Christian Bale, but I just feel like what he was given, Christopher Nolan really didn't focus on the Batman character, which is more focused on the Bruce Wayne. That's why I feel like he's the best Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Because you got a lot out of that Bruce Wayne more than Batman. And then that Batman, he broke the rule that they were so trying. He killed Ra's al Ghul at the end. I don't care what anybody says.
The train did it, bro. What you mean?
him not saving, that's essentially killing him. If you're really thinking, I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have the choice to save you, and that's you just killed him.
When he left the train, Ra's al Ghul was alive. If Ra's al Ghul can't make it out after he left, that ain't Batman's problem.
He said it's fair game. Fair game.
He's the one that cut the train in half in the first place. He's the reason why the train is in half. But anyway,
what's your top 3, Dark? That boy Jay getting heated. No, just what's your top 3, Dark?
Hey, I got the same as you think. I'm even gonna put mine in order because I got it solidified in my mind. I got Pattinson as my number 1, as in my opinion. I got him as my number 1. I gotta say, he showed me something. I already thought he could pull it off, but he really killed it in my opinion. I got Pattinson as number 1. I'd probably go Affleck number 2. I liked Affleck's Batman for sure, and I would go Keaton at 3 for me. Just
Keaton
like Jay
has
said,
to be 3. He can't turn his neck in his suit, so yeah, he can be number 3.
Just like Jay said for me, like Christian Bale, I enjoy the Christian Bale movies, but you know.
That's fair though. Can we also praise how Gotham truly felt like Gotham in this movie?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
crazy.
For sure.
Yeah, it felt like gritty. Also, to piggyback off of like Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I'm in a minority. I think Ben Affleck probably has the best voice Batman. Like the voice modulate. That was like one of my other griefs with the Dark Knight trilogy. Is like it's such a tech savvy like series. You got like the big back computer in the Dark Knight, and you got all these gadgets. And
told you, like Iron Man.
Yeah, and then you got Christian Bale doing that dumbass voice. Rachel, you know, like
Robert's voice was clean, but I do agree with the Ben.
No,
pick.
it wasn't. It wasn't. No, it was horrible.
You didn't like
that
it?
voice is no. I don't like it. Like he could.
You didn't like Robert Pattinson's voice?
No. I'm talking about Christian.
Oh, okay. Man, I was about to say.
For what it's worth, like all that tech he has and Lucius Fox, they could have just made a simple voice modulator and just had like his voice, and it would have sounded like 10 times better.
Yeah, Ben's Batman voice is solid. I will say somebody made a good point. Robert's Batman voice is almost like Christian Bale's, but you can hear everything Robert's saying, bro. Justice.
Yeah.
The answer is justice.
Because
like it's just so
Christian
natural.
Bale, he has like a lisp. I think that's probably why it doesn't like work as well as me. Because he in that trilogy has like a lisp and like an overbite, and I was like,
how you gonna roast him?
I'm not roasting him.
Just, too, in my opinion,
he's a Brit, and you just said he has an overbite.
Yeah, it's forced. Like I think where it works. I think his voice works best in an interrogation scene with the Joker. I feel like that's where his voice was best utilized. But like in other scenes, or like he pulls like Falcone out of the limousine, he's like Batman. Like that doesn't work. That does like that doesn't. It didn't feel right to me. Like that didn't feel right. Yeah,
that boy said, "I swear to God, swear to me." Like some of it was, I get it. That's fair. That's fair, man. Anything else you guys want to add?
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. If you guys want to add
yeah, on the voice too. What I was saying too, like throughout the movie, I was kind of thinking like, yeah, you know, Robert Pattinson got a pretty good Batman voice for me. I'm vibing with this. But what I really, really liked was when he went to go see the Riddler and he was yelling at the Riddler, trying to figure out what the Riddler was talking about. Oh yeah, that was when I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one right here. And I like that even though it showed you as smart as Batman is, it didn't downplay the Riddler because it showed him, even though as smart as Batman is, The Riddler still had stuff that Batman didn't find
Yep.
out until it was too late, which I really love right there because the Riddler's meant to be like extremely smart, like
Yeah.
basically smarter than Batman.
Yeah.
Like Batman's a really good detective, but as far as like straight IQ, Riddler's supposed to be up there with like
He's that guy.
smartest of the smart. So I like that they showed like as good as Batman is, all the clues they found, everything he did, he still missed like the bigger thing, and he couldn't. It was too late when he found out. I didn't want them to find it and be like, "Oh dang, let's go take care of this real quick," and then he still ends up, even though he's late, he still ends up saving everybody. You know what I'm saying? I like
Christopher
that there's
Nolan.
actual chaos.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
wasn't gonna
bro.
say it, Jay. I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
That
But I
boy
like that
Riddler
they
thought
actually
they was
showed
gonna
he
be
had
tag team
consequences there.
champions or something, bro.
But look, this was one of my main positives, and I did because I don't like PG-13 horror movies. I feel like if you're going in like that real dark, like if you're gonna go for like a dark, grimy route, I feel like it has to be rated R.
You didn't like it
But
though?
no, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
getting into that.
My bad, my bad, my
Um,
bad.
it was PG-13. It was PG-13, right? But I think Matt Reeves did a real good job of pulling off a lot of stuff, leaving up to imagery. Like I talk about that a lot. Like when a director or movie leaves a lot of stuff like cliffhangers, like they leave a lot of stuff up to the viewer's imagination. And Matt Reeves did a lot of this at a lot of these crime scenes. Like Jim Gordon and Batman, they're talking. They're talking about how like gruesome like some of these bodies are like mutilated, and then it's like a quick cut to like you just see like their facial expressions. You're like, damn, this must be. I wonder what this would look like if it wasn't PG. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? It was like they pulled like stuff like that off well. Some of the stuff they were talking about was kind of gruesome. I'm like, ugh, like, that's kind of nasty. You
It's
know?
interesting you say that. If this would have been even
Yeah,
more darker than it was, bro, like that would have been
Crazy.
crazy. It would have
yeah.
been, bro. And
I
like how
think
you
I I
go ahead.
think if it I think if it was rated R, I think a lot of the stuff that the Riddler was doing would have hit home more,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Yeah, it would have hit home like way harder. But that was really one of my main positives.
A lot of people talked about also like how the Dark Knight and the way of Christopher Nolan, how he shoots things. It's a lot of those quick cuts, and a lot of people talk about in this movie, Matt Reeves gives a lot of these actors and actresses that room to use their ability to make these scenes come alive. A lot of like it's just looking at the funeral scene. A lot of these shots are kind of sometimes long drawn out, just to give. I don't know. The storytelling was just on point, and I like how everything wasn't quick cut like a lot of these films are nowadays. A lot, bro. Like this movie should go up for multiple awards, including the score. And because it's a
Yeah, for sure.
superhero film,
Yeah.
it's
Score,
not gonna get that
yes.
credit. But I've never seen a movie like there's only a few movies I can name to where they're so beautifully shot like this. This was an experience. This felt like a fucking event. It felt like the Batman. Like honestly, and I don't know if I'll feel this again, bro. I might
Yeah,
get depressed. Like
I feel if the year goes by how I expect it to go, I don't think there's gonna be another movie where there's gonna be another supporting actor. Like really feel like Colin Farrell, he's probably gonna win the best supporting actor for the Oscar. I really like enjoyed his pink. Like when I see like every time I watch, like I said, I'm gonna keep iterating this. I watched it 3 times. Every time
yes,
I left, I just became more and
invested
more
in
and
him.
more impressed. Like I really like his penguin. And it's a small subtle thing I noticed that I didn't realize until the third time I saw it. Like when he was in handcuffs, like he was like literally like walking like a penguin. I was like, oh, okay, that's a
Right.
real cool element. But I really feel I think he like out. I'm not gonna say he outshined Robert Pattinson, but I mean, man, his penguin was just like good because it wasn't like fish face like Danny DeVito. It wasn't like super forced. It was like subtle.
Yeah.
He's more like a mobster. It's not
Yeah.
like full on like penguin. Like, and that goes back to the year two thing. A lot of these, characters are still in the early development, so you're not gonna see
Yes.
them
Hmm.
at like their full force. Like the Riddler. This is like the Riddler in this movie is going to be a different. If they keep exploring on that Riddler character, is going to
Mhm.
be different in the
He's
next movie.
already
And
a
that's there.
menace, bro.
Yeah, he's already a
That's what's
menace
Yeah.
crazy.
now, and they're supposed to be doing an Arkham Asylum TV series on HBO Max.
Hmm.
So between now and then, I'm kind of assuming they're gonna explore more of that Joker character. Maybe we get the Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn stuff. That's what I was kind of thinking that they were gonna do with this series, and I'm hoping they kind of don't do it. I'm gonna be honest, because
Yeah.
Harley
Margot
Quinn is
Robbie,
a
you gotta
real
go. Margot Robbie, you gotta go, honey,
she's
bro.
she's
I'm
a real
sorry.
annoying. Any iteration of her is like a super annoying character. I just don't like that character like at all. But like the way the Joker duped her, I really do like that. Like that whole story behind it, I do enjoy it. But like Harley Quinn, the character itself, is like stupid and annoying. But
Well, they make her
if
very
they,
bubbly, which I don't like. And I know
yeah,
Harley Quinn's weird, but it doesn't feel like she's. You know, a lot of people say she's crazier than the Joker. I don't feel that when I'm watching her, and we've already seen
she's
her a
just
few times.
she's the typical crazy girl. Like honestly, that's what I see her as. But if they pull off this Arkham Asylum thing right, I think they're gonna explore. They're gonna go into deep in more detail with some of these villains.
Hmm.
Hopefully, they pull it off right to where it's a perfect transition into the next Batman movie. So
Yeah.
hopefully, everything works.
And by the
Still
way, guys,
telling you,
they've done
Matt
this with
Reeves,
Go ahead.
hit me up for that Jason Todd scene. I can be like an extra or something. You know what I'm saying? Just hit me up, like.
They've done this with Jared Leto before, Christian Bale, a lot of these actors. What mostly impressed me about the Penguin, and he's literally buried in that performance. It's not like a lot of movies I see where Jared Leto's been in a few where they throw makeup and prosthetics on him, and it just feels like it's a cheap way of just making them a different character. He felt buried in this role. I didn't feel like they just threw some shit on him and he was trying to make something work. He made that, bro. I don't even know what to say. I'm
Yeah.
speechless. But I do agree. I don't think he'll win anything because of the little screen time he did get, but at the same time, he's still a supporting character. So at the same time, I do feel like that's fair. He did fucking amazing. I agree as well. So I don't know if you guys wanted to add anything, bro. It makes me so excited talking about this fucking movie.
Yeah, bro. If people can't tell, I'm like a Batman nerd. Like I'm like a
Hmm.
nerd. Like
Hey,
I'm a nerd. When it comes to
hey.
Batman, I'm like a nerd,
In
bro. So
2022, that's finally
Same.
okay. They finally made it
Same.
cool, bro. But one of these days, if we, when we do grow our platforms, we got to rent out a theater. We have to,
yeah,
bro.
That would be
It's
that would
only
be
yeah,
that would
right.
be sick.
that would be
It's
lit.
only
That
right.
would be
There's
lit.
one thing I want to add. There's one thing I want to
Yeah.
add too, real quick. It's something I saw when I first saw the movie is what I thought it was. I haven't really had time to dive into all the theories and things people have as of yet. But I thought when I first saw it in the last fight scene when Batman is trying to save Selina, that green vial he injected into himself before he went buck wild on that dude and started beating his head in.
Yeah.
That looked real similar to me, like Bane, a version of Bane's Venom. To me, is what it looked like. What I thought it was when I first saw it, because it's
Oh.
green in that small jar. It looked just like what Bane would inject into himself, just like on a super small scale. So they could be
Okay.
setting up like a small version of Bane's Venom is what he used to go when he started going crazy on that dude. At first, I thought it could have just been adrenaline, but the way he
That's
got
what I
up so
thought.
fast and how
Yeah,
violent he was, the
yeah.
violence that he was, and like it looked like he kind of like lost
Ah.
himself, like he lost himself for a minute. It really gave me vibes of like Bane's Venom. That's something I thought they might have been hinting at with that too.
Was that
Hopefully you're
supposed
right.
to? People laughed in the theater when he was going crazy on the dude, and Jim Gordon's like, "Hey, was that supposed to be funny? I didn't think it was. I
Yeah, I
thought
don't
it was
think I don't think
supposed
I
to
don't
be
think that's supposed to be
I
intense."
funny.
I barely let. The only time I laughed is like at the end when like the Joker made that riddle, and then the riddle was like a friend. I thought that was like stupid funny for no reason. It's just silly. But either than that, I didn't laugh like that entire runtime. I didn't laugh like once. I
Really?
thought nothing in that movie was funny. Like I
I
thought it was
I
just
didn't
laughed.
like
really laugh a
dark.
lot either.
Yeah,
I
it was
laughed
like
when he
that
was
wasn't
like,
funny.
"I told you to pull your punch," and he was like, "I did." That was funny to me.
Yeah, that's the part I
And
laughed at
then
too. I laughed at that part.
I didn't mean to, but when the Riddler was going crazy, when he realized Batman was not down with that shit, and he was like
Yeah,
going
he started
crazy in the
going
room,
nuts.
I was laughing because I'm sorry, this shit was just funny to me.
The way he was drawing out everything he was saying was so funny to me too. When he couldn't believe it. He was
Yeah.
going insane and he's going nuts.
Man, he
Yeah.
thought that was gonna be a tag team, bro. That's tough. That's tough. But man, if you guys didn't have anything else to add, bro, I don't know how long we've been talking. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
upload
mean,
this shit.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
up.
either.
I like this. I don't know if you guys would want to do this, but for these, I don't always go out to watch movies. I told my girlfriend this is an event. If I go every weekend, it won't feel as special. I only go when it's a big event. The Multiverse of Madness is going to be one of those. Black Adam,
Of
The Flash.
course.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm going to be real, but it is The Flash.
Black Adam is gonna, bro. Black Adam. I'm looking
That's
forward
gonna
to
hit.
that movie.
It's
That
going to
movie's
be
gonna
crazy.
hit so good, bro. I can't
But
wait
there's
for
too
that.
many
Cannot
movies
wait.
coming out to where I don't know if I'll go to all of them because, like, I had to go to this. I had to. No Way Home, I had to go to that. I didn't want to because I got
Of
spoiled.
course.
I got spoiled by the internet. Fuck you guys. I'm kidding. But I got spoiled. I didn't want to go. My girlfriend made me go. I'm glad I went. This was the next one we had to check off our list, man. But I love being a superhero fan. And I know you guys can agree. It's crazy
Yes,
in
sir.
2022 how much content we get as superhero fans. And on top of that, it's cool now. W, man.
Facts.
Yeah, big dub.
But honestly, bro, it's been real with you guys, man. I enjoyed this. I don't know what to call this now. I don't know. I've never done this podcast kind of thing. What do you guys call yourselves? Yeah, man. I gotta
D-Rag
get like
Chronicles?
y'all, bro. I don't got the waves and shit. My hairline's still kind of messed up, but it's okay. We still looking clean. But man, I'm glad you guys joined this, man. I'm gonna leave links to their channels down below, man. We got to get them some more subs. My man Jay just got monetized, man. Hey, if he spam ads, that's not my fault. Anyway, Darkseid, he's on his way as well. And make your money however you want to do it, bro. But I'm gonna see you guys next time.